This is a cheap NIV that I bought. Well, yeah. Basically, I bought this pretty sight unseen. I only got to see one or two pictures of it. And I started up for the first time, and it had this under the hood, a performance carburetor and a turbocharger. This thing's probably making around 260 horsepower. So let's just get right into it. I'm trying to fix it, see what's up with this thing. So first I'm gonna real quick take it over to the lift so I can look at the underbody of the car with ease. Listen to this. Sounds like a whole ass vacuum cleaner. Sounds like it might be rear wheel drive, the way it just spun. A car with only 200 something horsepower, this thing is unbelievably fast. Yep, 278 horsepower. I was a bit off with 260. But now let me turn off the car, put on the brake. Well, it looks like I lined it up perfectly. Perfectly. So let's lift this hoe up. And what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? I mean, looks like it's still all-wheel drive. The suspension is in alright condition. I mean, I've seen better, I've seen worse. For 278 horsepower and the price that I got this at, it's not that bad, honestly. And the car itself is worth $6,000, not including, like that's what the game values it at. I'm sure I could get like $7 for it. So the question is, do we want to restore this or not? I mean, of course we do. It's a stupid question. So first things first, first order of business. The hell happened to this headlight, right? So I think there might be a spare one in the trunk. So there is not a spare one in the trunk. Might have fallen out in my messy ass plot. Dude, I gotta clean this up. But yeah, see, headlight. We'll just throw this in here, call it a day. And then I mean it's basically a finished build at this point. But yeah, where is my screwdriver? Where are all my tools at? Oh no, where did I put every single one of my tools? Let's just start out with some basic issues that we need to work on with this car. For example, just get out this headlight, pop it out. Is this thing seriously not gonna come out, really? There we go. And basically, put this headlight on here. Oh yeah, they just sent me the wrong fucking headlight with the car. That's just great. That is just great. That is absolutely perfect. Don't you love when they do that? Dude, I really gotta clean out this fucking garage, bro. Well, my entire plot, but like a lot of these parts are useful. Like, look at this. This is a 5-speed automatic. Like, I can use this in a diesel if I build one. Speaking of diesels, I have like 3 of them. 1, 2, there's probably a third one out here somewhere. I have a bunch of 380 blocks. 380, 380, 380, 380. Like, Jesus. But still. Another diesel gearbox. Tires galore, rims galore. But yeah. So, let's see what here. Looks like this thing's already a 5-lug, meaning we can put some nice rims and tires on it. It's always a good way to start a build, just setting up some tires. But of course, that's not what we're going to do. But rather, I'm more interested in this engine. Because, I mean, it's a pretty fucking cool engine, right? So, let's grab a wrench from out here. Put it on loosening mode. Loosen that. The F100 mod is broken, so I can't really use my work truck to go get rims from the place. I could probably fit them in here, because this thing has a big-ass trunk, but still, I'm taking the engine out right now. Because, as you can tell, the cylinder head is fucked, and I don't feel like doing an in-house rebuild, so I'm just going to really quick take apart the engine. Because why not? That, and I mean, there's also some other things I'd like to do to it. For example, we can definitely make more horsepower if we bore out the engine block a little bit, make it, do it like a 2-liter conversion instead of a 1.5, which is what I think this thing is right now. Because, like, you know, more power never really hurt anyone. Loosen that. Just gotta get that pesky starter bolt. Looks like I forgot one right here. I swear, if I have to lift this thing to get the transmission out. Alright, there we go. And it should come off. Put the fuel line on. I still can't find the fucking... Oh wait, I need to take out the grounding wire. Okay. So here we have the engine. Oh shit, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Alright, but here we have it, the engine. Pretty basic engine, I mean, it's an inline 4. But we're gonna put this thing on the fucking engine stand. Don't know why it's out here, but it is. And I'm gonna really quickly grab my move tool, move it over here. And what we're gonna do, right, is we're gonna first take apart the engine, and then replace all the bad parts with good parts, and we're also gonna put on some more performance parts. I'm fucking retarded. I'm stupid. How did I forget to bolt that on? Holy shit. But, oh my god. Alright, there we go. We're gonna grab this. Like, you can just lift up a whole ass engine stand with the engine on it, but no, I'm not even gonna complain, because if I actually had to push this thing, I'd be pissed. So basically, we're just gonna strip this engine down to the block like we're fucking thieves or something. I want to make a Romanian joke here, but like, no, I'm playing with y'all. But anyway, open this hoe up, unbolt, 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 unbolt. You see this like tiny ass camshaft that's in here? We're gonna need to fix that when we put in a new cylinder head. So I'm gonna put in some horsepower spark plugs. Trust me, this thing's gonna be nice. Take this off. And of course, the head gasket. Now that this is done, basically we just need to make sure all the pistons are alright. What the fuck, 2 of them are bad already. What that does mean though is that if we replace them, it's just a easy front to get more horsepower. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbolt the oil pan, and we're just gonna take out the entirety of the clutch and the whatchamacallit, crankshaft and all those nitty bitty pieces with a few bolts, because that's just how this game is. I don't know, like, fuck, what do you want me to tell you? But yeah, what the fuck? Alright, unbolt. Alright, this is all unbolted, I think. Should be. Yeah, we ballin'. Okay. I mean, like, I did need to take this off, but is there like, oh yeah, I missed these. Oopsies. Actually, there's some over here too that I missed. I'm kind of blind, but we've popped these out. What we're gonna do is, yeah, it looks like if I didn't replace this, the engine would have taken a fair bit of damage, because that crankshaft is not looking too good. So we're gonna have to replace this crankshaft, and we're gonna have to replace the cylinder head. Of course, we're going to upgrade these two parts in the process with things such as performance fucking, a good camshaft, some performance spark plugs, maybe some forged pistons and a performance head. I mean a fucking rocker. I don't know. Just stuff that would genuinely improve the performance of the engine. Looks like one of the spark plugs was dead. I have no idea how this thing was making that much horsepower with dead spark plugs. You know, this thing's going to be quite the engine when it's finished. Of course, I have to take everything apart now. On this. So we have to take off that part of the turbo. Well, that's technically the performance fucking carburetor. And this is actually the turbo. They connect. And at this point, we're almost done tearing down the cylinder head itself, and then we have to get to work on that rocker. Then we have to get work on. Then we have. Oh my god, please! But we have to. We have to. Oh my god. We have to do work to the fucking crankshaft. Okay, yeah, crankshaft. Okay. Okay, let me unscrew the water pump. Alright, there we go. So now we have the bare cylinder head and these spark plugs that I don't plan on using because like 2 of them are dead or something, and they're not performance anyway, so it doesn't matter. Into the trash bin they go. Now we go here, and we have to find, let's see here, I think a street camshaft. Like, why not? It's a street camshaft to replace this old camshaft. And of course, we're going to need a new cylinder head. I'm pretty sure we can get a performance one. Am I stupid? Like, why isn't this stuff working? Oh, because there's no spaces. Alright, so here's the performance cylinder head. You know what, honestly, this thing could use a bit more chrome. That's what we're going to do. And since all of my cars would take longer to start up than to actually just walk there, except for my rally car. The rally car has won 3 trophies, not flexing or anything. Only thing is I've been having issues with that one rally. I keep getting stuck in trees or flying off the side of a cliff, but if you guys have tried doing the rallies, you probably know which one I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, just basic shit. We're gonna really quick run back here. Dude, I really need to fix this. This is bad, but yeah. I'm gonna put this down. Street camshaft. Where's my wrench? You know, that's funny. I can't find my wrench. Could have sworn I just had it. This is why I need to clean up my garage. I cannot find shit. Oh, there we go. No idea how it got into the corner, but I don't care. But yeah, basically, the performance camshaft and performance cylinder head alone are going to add a fair bit more horsepower to this project, which is really good because That's what I'm going for. Lots of horsepower. So we can we can just install this real quick. The reason I'm installing this is, oh fuck, I didn't put the head gasket back on. But the reason I'm really quick putting this on here is to make it easier to put on the carburetor and all that, because putting on a carburetor while the cylinder head is on the floor isn't something that this game likes doing. Throw that on there, put this on top of that, bolt this hoe in, and yeah. Basically, we're probably going to be, if we're making 278 horsepower before, I'd say 400 horsepower is a reasonable thing to expect from this car. Especially with the turbo and whatnot. And the fact that we're fixing up the pistons. But yeah, just a fair amount of power. Just a fair amount of power upgrade. Because, like, you know, I don't really care if the NIV looks ratty, but I do care if it's slow, because I don't want a slow project car, unless it's like a work truck or something. But, yeah. So, yeah. Alright, basically, we're just gonna... Since I'm just gonna go with forged pistons anyway, that means none of these are actually, like, needed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna really quickly... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I have to take apart the whole clutch. Looks like this guy had some sort of clutch setup going on, because this doesn't... I thought the normal clutch plate was, like... I don't know. I didn't think it looked like this. Maybe I'm just stupid or something. Looks brand new, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now we can just really quick get rid of this crankshaft and 2 pistons. Now we're just going to need a performance crankshaft and some good pistons. I don't really care that these things are fucking primer colored, because I know it looks kind of goofy, but at the same time, when are you going to be looking at your pistons? Like, I very much hope that I don't have to take apart the engine again, and I don't have to see what my pistons look like again. But we all know that I'm probably going to blow this thing up after a week of having it. But, you know, we can dream, right? Yeah, we can definitely still use this. It isn't that bad. It's a bit used. It's a slightly used clutch. Looks like this was brand new, so the old owner had done a bit of clutch work on it. Which is nice to know. Now we're going to really quickly throw this onto here. Yeah, basically I was looking through my old barns and I got this car. I found this thing. And given the condition, I thought I got it for cheap, so I'm like, why don't I make a video on it? I just don't really remember how I got it, because I must have gotten it a long time ago, but that's whatever. So we're going to really quick bolt in these, bolt in that, and I mean, boom, the crankshaft is in. I hope I didn't forget anything. And you can just throw this on here. Wasn't I going to 2-liter swap this? I need to... Oh my, I am stupid. Okay, hold up. we're gonna need to get that and basically all the other shit that I took off the engine and just bring it over here real quick. Because basically what I had wanted to do is I want to put a bigger engine block in, because the bigger the engine block, you know, there's no replacement for displacement, you know what I'm saying? Like, a 5-liter engine with the same modifications as a 2-liter engine is probably going to make a lot more horsepower than that 2-liter engine, you know what I'm saying? So we're just going to really quickly pop all this out. Don't even need to change the oil filter, which is surprising. I thought that would have been shot. Looks like the old owner of this car had taken reasonable care of it. They just neglected the rest of it and didn't really pay too much attention to all the internals. But I mean, what do you expect? There's a lot of cars where I do that. But you know, just basic stuff. Alright, looks like this is literally just a bare engine block now. Turn this into a table. Alright, so now that we got all that off, we're just going to need to buy a big engine block, big boy block. So we of course have the 1.8 liter, but we also have a 2 liter inline 4. This engine's a bit more expensive, but it's also a 2 liter. It's going to be making a fair amount of power. So we're going to really quickly... This isn't really an engine swap, is it? Because like it's the same engine when you think about it. Nah, I guess it's kind of an engine swap, but still. So we're... What the fuck? Are you serious? If I had $1 for every time I've had head gasket issues in any game or in real life, I'd probably be a millionaire. Because that's counting my summer car. I don't think I've ever had a my summer car save where I didn't have extreme head gasket failure every 5 minutes. Alright, we're going to throw that on there. Now that that's on there, we're just going to quickly put that on there. And bolt it down. No, the head gasket's in there, right? That ain't coming out. But yeah. So the 2 liter inline 4 is a, what, 500cc upgrade over the 1.5 liter. So it's not, I mean, it's a lot, but it's also not a lot, but it's still gonna do wonders with the horsepower, because the 1.5 liter just isn't that good for making reasonable amounts of power. Everyone knows that. You don't want to run a 1.5 liter in a race car, because unless your limit to horsepower you can have for your race car is 200 horsepower, you're kind of fucked. Because 1.5 liters, I don't think I've ever seen one making more than 300 in this game. Especially without them dumping crazy amounts of money into it. Like, it's just buy a 2 liter at that point. Throw that on there. I like how I say that, knowing I've probably dumped over $2 grand in this car already. I haven't been keeping track, but that's because I'm a big baller. And there's a bunch of performance parts that I'm missing. For example, I could put on a performance fuel filter and a fuel pump and a performance, whatchamacallit, distributor, but like, I don't really need all that. Because they weren't broken in the first place, I'm only really replacing parts that I think I need to replace with performance parts. Like, this thing doesn't need to be making 1,500 horsepower, it just needs to make a fair bit. So we're going to really quickly throw that on there. Now, the engine is basically done except for two things: oil and spark plugs. So we need to go grab ourselves some performance spark plugs and oil from the store. I don't think we're going to be taking this thing. So we're going to real quick start the whip, pop the brake. Yo, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. Alright, let's grab up. Toolbox. Pop this thing open. Here's a quick little Moody Blues tip. Always buy 5 performance spark plugs, because these things do have a bad habit of just falling out of engines. Well, I mean, like, if you have a V8, then buy 9, but, like, you know what I mean. Buy one more than the amount that you actually need. Do they sell oil here? Yes, they do. I'll take some of that, too. And after the engine is oiled and has spark plugs in it, then the engine's done, and we can move on to the next part of the build, which will probably have something to do with the front suspension, because the front suspension is pretty rough. One thing I don't do is rust removal though, like body panels. So I might have to send the car to someone else who can do that for me, and I'll just like pay them a bit. I'm sure there's a bunch of people in the Discord server who would be more than happy to do that for me, assuming I pay them enough. Because rust removal in this game is just annoying. Rust removal in general is annoying. It's not something I like to do. You can tell by my rally car being a rusty piece of shit. I mean, it's like technically perfect condition for everything. Probably not the suspension, because I've jumped this thing a few times, but yeah, it's basically perfect condition except for the body and the paint, because, like, you know, I'm running some decals and I have that black front end on it. And I mean, the interior is pretty stripped down too. So now what we're going to want to do is just install these spark plugs, and the engine is, for the most part, done. For now, at least, done. Of course, we're going to have to install it, do all that fun business, and then, like, the thing is, I'm probably going to take out the front cross member and rebuild that before I install the engine, because it would just make things easier. Why would I install the engine, then take it out again to redo that? Like, I mean, I can kind of see why, but just not worth it. Because the whole front cross member is really fucked up on this thing. It looks like it's even a bit bent too. Which, I mean, I'm not saying it's the old owner's fault, but I've never seen a bent cross member. Well, I mean, I have, but not in a long time. Like, usually you see that on, like, wrecks and shit. Is this thing bent? It might just be the design of it, but still, I mean, it's pretty fucking bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit that you'd see after, like, the car gets into a 190 mile an hour head-on collision with 3 semi-trucks. But yeah, the engine is, for the most part, done, and in the next episode, I'll take apart the front suspension, do all that, and hopefully get this thing running again. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Remember, like and subscribe to get a cookie or something. Just like interact with my video. I need money. Money.